Hello and welcome to the podcast.
Hello and welcome to the podcast.
Okay.
And Hayley Quinn's gonna be in it, and if they fuck it up, I'm gonna kill him, cause she's so smart and so clever as long as the Joker isn't there.
Hello and welcome to the podcast.
Hello and welcome to the podcast.
Hello and welcome to the continuation of the podcast. We'll keep bastard on the check that.
I had a question. So, what is the new thing in it when it comes to this? There's a thing there you can go to.
3, 2... Nej, Philip, du skal ikke skrive nu.
Philip, what are you doing?
Philip!
Jeg tror, Philip er troede, at vi er færdige.
Jeg havde ikke læst som Screen of Death til at starte med. Jeg havde læst som B-Sword.
Jeg havde ikke regnet med, at det var på ferie i dag. Var det til computer, der gik ud, eller hvad?
Okay, Blue Screen of Death.
Gør du ikke noget nu?
Det gør han.
Nej, han gør ej.
Jo, han gør.
Nej, han gør ej.
Jo, han gør.
Han gør ej.
Philip!
3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to the continuation of the podcast.
Hello. We're preparing for playing some Cards Against Humanity.
All be easier if
It will
you
all
just
be easier.
go with
Okay,
it.
Emily, yay! And everybody is ready. Do you know how I know that? I'm sure. It's because I was looking at my iPad just before.
I am the card soft. I'm the king. Swapping bodies with mom for a day plus Stalin plus is like making it look like a suicide. Well, that was a good one, actually.
Mr. Bond, I must show you.
Mr. Bond.
Mr. Bond,
Come
I'm
on,
sorry,
Bond.
I'm sorry, but
He's famous.
yes, he's famous. But I must show you a cat video so cute that your eyes will roll back and your spine slices out your anus. You.
European serial killer, blah 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 blah, serial killer. Look, I said it was a serial killer, and then it was a serial killer.
Oh my god.
Fucking god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's too bad you lost your laptop at the school and then
Oh my god, I'm fucking cheating. Freaking jailer. And I can't
Okay,
tell
I'm
these
fine with
guys
that.
because
Where
it's
is
just so freaking hilarious.
Who is it that always does that stuff that kill Twitch?
Who do you think it is?
Otherwise I'm in
I
trouble.
am investigator. As I said many times, I am investigator.
That's a good thing because I changed my mind.
I am investigator.
what? Wait.
Oh, somebody was actually improved to Mafia so after me, so there's still a chance that
Are
Mafia
you
can
Marv?
I was Mafia, and I freaking lied to you twice. Is
I
Hoods
don't
good?
care if I'm... I don't, I
No,
don't
Hoods is not good. So, oh my god, if she kills
I
Hoods
fucking
now,
trusted you, Lolpi.
maybe,
He says he's mayor.
Well, GG
but
you.
I think that
You killed the flipping mayor.
she killed the freaking mayor because I said
And
she
get
should.
at the vet.
Oh my god, I love this.
Please tell me Hertz is evil.
But let's see.
Please tell me Hertz is evil.
He's not evil, Hoods the mayor.
The mayor, you
Oh my god,
Mayor.
yes, I freaking
wrong with you?
fucked with you twice. So, hello and welcome to the podcast.
Very welcome.
Very welcome. Everything just starts out totally wrong and everything just breaks and yeah. This is how it should be. I know for the further notice for the rest of the evening that I should use the microphone notch instead of using the button to turn off my microphone. just to notice myself the rest of the evening. So how is everybody today? And is people happy? Henri is happy. Philip is just Philip-ish. And Silver Prince, hello and welcome to this really scary experiment.
Oh no.
I'm not sure what we did and why we did it this way, but I promise you that the... Sorry.
What are you gonna do right now? Are you gonna... Is that ninja behind me gonna kill me now?
Yes, it is going to kill you now. This is what is seriously going to happen, and yeah, that's how it is. So thank you for being here with me for these 24 hours of a live stream where we were going to make this podcast. Today we will be talking about a lot of beautiful and scary, maybe inappropriate things. Just so you know, this channel is rated R.
Is this the cue to? Is this the cue for me to leave because I'm not yet over age?
You are old enough compared to
8.
Yes.
Listen,
age.
If you're
age, not 8.
18.
He's not 18 yet, but the...
Oh, yeah, that's different from 8. That's like you're barely going to school, you know.
Alright, so basically I can handle anything. I've seen my stepmother naked. I can handle anything in this
You
world.
can handle everything. So, Iliad, you wanted to start out today with talking about a lot of fantastic games. I think they should just have stopped in development already before the beginning.
Why do you say that? I didn't say that.
You know, that was what I got out of it.
What?
So, yeah, you wanted to talk about failed games, and the reason why you think they are failed is. I think that's what I got out of what you wrote.
No, that wasn't reaction to what I said.
No, I was just talking to Silver.
Seriously?
Should I open
We were
it then?
discussing his topic,
Then Silver Prince, you get
which
the
is way better.
Well, my topic is the disappearance of the god game genre.
Yes, disappearance of the god game genre.
It all started, just a bit of background. It all started when Peter Molyneux and one of his friends worked together in something called Bullfrog Studios. This was when they were in a tough spot after they created a game called Power Monger, which basically, from there came the idea for a game named Populous. Populous was the idea of you owning an army, just like the earlier game Power Monger, but this time with a twist that you have magical powers to change terrain, deal damage, and those kind of things. This was later known as a new kind of genre, the god game genre. And they created the second game, and then the third game they called Populous Beginning, in which you experience the game to go into a god. After this, they were still the only people making these games. It was quite a exclusive genre at the time. When the studio split, Peter Molyneux went into, well, nobody remembered him at that point anymore, until he came back years later with Goddess. But in that time, some members of Bullfrog Studio by this time created something called Lionhead Studio, and they created Black and White from the ideas Peter Molyneux had a long time before that. And they basically released Black and White, where you are a god and you do what you do, and you try to, be a good or an evil god. Then Black and White 2 came out. Then, in the middle of development of Black and White 3, well, then, at that point, EA bought Lionhead Studios, and that was the end of god games for a long time. Then they slowly returned to Image, or actually the first real iteration of an actual god game that returned to Image would be From Dust. Not about using your powers to destroy things, but to save people. It was a failed game for the
What was the game name again?
From Dust.
From Dust.
It was not an honor to the god game genre. Yeah, all you had was kind of telekinesis powers. You had nothing else. You could basically lift dirt and sand and magma and stuff and water, but nothing else. That was your only power in From Dust. So it was basically you had telekinesis. You couldn't create any disasters or major things or anything. All you could was move things, and that was kind of bad. Then Peter Molyneux came with his eyesore named Goddess.
Yes.
Everyone remember that?
I bought that game.
The reward
It's
thing with the cube and
pretty
stuff like
failed.
Yes.
Say that
I
it's
bought it
still in some sort of development or something like that.
I'll just checking right now.
and and like me and Philip bought it last year after we have been playing it on
the ninth
tablets and stuff. And we just thought that in the computer version you're able to cheat. You can say that if one person gives you 5 million diamonds and then you won the game.
Yeah. Last time it was updated was 11th of September.
Yeah.
Guess what date that is? But it was a failure, and many other games. There is one promising game though I have seen recently. It's called, how is it called again? I have this in my wish list. It's not out yet, but the Universe Sim, and that's basically. I hope that's what it's promising to be. That it's an actual God game. But if you look up the best God game list, you'll start with Black and White 2, Black and White. Then comes Spore, popular at the beginning, From Dust, and then slowly you go down. And from place 10 and onwards, it's only things like The Sims, Evil Genius, Settlers, Sim Ant, something called Pocket God, which isn't that fun. I tried.
I think
Sims
that
4.
Pocket God is yet another of these. Let's try to make
games.
something God game.
Yeah, but fails. Doodle God, which is basically that element or creation game. The Sims, Settlers 3, Doodle God 2, Sims, and a 2070. Don't know how that is a God game. Do you know, Michael? You're a
I
pretty big fan.
know 2017 is a beautiful God game. Trust me, you can be so much goddess when you play that game.
Like, what are your God powers?
You
Absolutely
can take over. Okay, I'm not even going to try.
It's like Black and White, you know, you can throw fireballs and pick people up.
Virtual
and stuff
villages. I don't know what's God game about that.
I played that a stupid game.
The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth, I played that game, and definitely not a God game. God of War, if I remember this game correctly, I don't know anymore for sure, but if I remember correctly, this is it's that game where you kill gods or something.
Yeah, God of War is that game where you kill gods, and it has nothing to do.
Yeah, you're not a god. You don't have powers. All you do is you steal a god's power by decapitating
you're
him.
a demigod because you. Yes.
I was born out of.
But you know what? There's one thing I always wonder about. You know, Microsoft Kinect. Imagine Black and White with Microsoft Kinect.
Oh no! Please don't give him the idea to fuck that up as well.
I mean,
Actually
why?
terrible.
So if anyone
that's the one game that could work with Kinect is Black and White, because there all you are is a hand. Imagine that you just are a hand. You could do all these magic moves, and they already was in the Black and White one. You know,
my
that would
only
be
hope.
perfect.
My only hope is the Microsoft Lens. That might be just what you need to create an actual God game. Ever heard of that one? Basically, this holographic glass which changes the area around you. So that in my eyes and opinion, that's the only thing that could save it.
So if anyone out there is from Lionhead Studios thinks that you think that we're going to revive Black and White and make Black and White 3, please make it for the Microsoft glasses and the Kinect, because that would just be the game. And if you can mix it together, having a Kinect looking at you while you have the glasses on, making the special 3D world around you, that would be so nice.
That would be the end of every single gamer's private life. I mean, at that point, all you would have is a room filled with your kingdom, and you just, if you're annoyed, you just stab on a couple of villagers. If you're happy, you're gonna give them massive amounts of rum, beer, and wine, and a giant edible pig.
Hell, you don't even have to make a new game, you know, just take Black and White 1 and put it into Kinect, you know, it will still work, it would be great.
Or just make, you know, Black and White kind of things in a new game. Just, if anyone would copy those mechanics and redo them in a game, that would be amazing. I mean, you could literally have this god animal who will carry out your will. You can
That's all I
fight with
want.
everyone around you. Yeah.
I want
God,
Black and White 1 new version, rebuilt, remade,
Yeah,
whatever.
in a world, in the ultimate world where everything will be fine or not, depending on what kind of god you are. I'm a vengeful god.
I am.
What?
Oh God.
I'm not happy.
Yeah, good God.
I always try to be a good god, but for some reason they always seem as evil in there. I don't know what I do wrong. I try everything to
It
be
might
nice.
it might be the face and the accent.
Actually, what I usually do in Black and White 2 is I am the evil guard, building houses close together and having a lot of people that's just and sacrificing all which you can, and then I have this pet which is taught to be a good pet. To think that it's running around with flowers and the rainbows around it, and I'm just a vengeful guard.
So you are basically the demon of the world, and your pet is the good savior. It's basically the other way around, with the normal kind of Bible stories.
Yeah.
Like
But
the
my-
Bible creator is the good guy, and the pet is the guy who goes ape.
But it's
it's
in Black and
okay.
White 1. I just can't be good. My creature too is always evil. You know. Why can't I be good?
Maybe you should give another example to the creature. Maybe you should stop stealing your people's supplies, starving them. Maybe
I'm just helping them build stuff. You know. It's
Hey,
like
maybe
okay,
you
I
should
take it.
avoid things like murder.
should let them do that themselves, or are they starving or something? Are they happy?
Well, one of the problem in Black and White 1 was, you know, getting food and stuff like that. Like,
So steal from your enemies.
what?
Steal from your enemies. Do what every god does. Do something to steal off your enemies.
You know, there was like this exploit you could do in the first one where if you tap the mouse like quickly when you use the spell over the village where they had the food and stuff like that, then you tap quickly, hold it right over the door, and you could get nearly endless food and wood. You know, if you use the spell correctly.
Yeah,
I found that one.
I think that's the reason why they find you so evil, since you're a cheater. They hate cheaters.
The first one was hard, damn it! Especially when you in the later Iceland, you know. It was like
Yeah.
you get fireballs thrown at your village constantly. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, old games used to be a lot harder. Or games in general used to be a lot harder. I miss those times.
Yeah.
Actually, I would never played games in those times. So basically, I, as a kid, played games which are a few generations before me, and those were pretty good in comparison to what came out in my time. In my time, we got Pyjama Sam, Spy Fox, Freddy Fish, and Put Put.
When I grew up with a game called Hero Quest and Civilization 1 and Railroad Tycoon 1 and Settlers 1 and you know all the AAA titles 1.
Oh yeah, and the UF.
Back
Yeah,
when
and,
titles didn't exist.
Yeah, and the first UFO game, or what do you call it, XCOM game. I mean, I played that when it came out. I think like XCOM, Enemy Unknown. That's the name. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Apparently, the #1 economic simulation game ever is something called Capitalism 2.
Capitalism 2. I've never played that one.
Sounds pretty boring.
I played Democracy 3 and the.
Oh, I have that as
Oh
well.
yeah, that's right. That, you know, I won that. Like, I was like Utopia. You know, it's like so easy. You know, you just got to like. What?
If I once played this on normal difficulty and knew to get the popular leader achievement. If you would look at my Steam account, that's my prideful thing, and then I stopped playing since I didn't give a fuck anymore after that. I was a popular leader. It says few leaders have that special ability to be all things to all people, but somehow you've pulled off the trick of being popular with almost everyone. Nice work.
Beautiful.
Not many people can say that they have that achievement.
What achievement? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
It was the achievement for a. Doesn't matter.
I'm just look. Do you know how much percentage of players have that thing?
What thing?
And
I didn't hear
popular
you.
leader achievement. 0.5% of players have that achievement. I'm one of 200 people. But of every 1,000 people, only 200. Of
Yes.
every 500 people, only 2 have it. No, wait. Did I say that right? No. I don't give a shit.
Nee.
Of
Let's
every
see.
amount of people who have it, a lesser amount of people have it.
Cool. How do you see that? Actually,
No, actually, on every 1,000 people who have the game, 5 have this achievement.
Okay.
Or did I say? Let's
That's
just drop
fine,
it.
Silver. You don't have to calculate it right here, right now.
All right.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Sorry. Next topic. Next topic. I've talked way too long.
No, you actually talked your time. Iliad, you're
Just a quick second. I have to go to the
bastard.
bathroom. I'll be back in a couple of seconds.
Okay,
Yeah,
see you
I-
there.
I just thought to bring
so-
people's attention towards games like the Stanley Parable.
The Stanley
and-
Parable.
oh, that's great.
Yeah, and the Talos Principle.
Oh, yes.
In part because I loved the Stanley Parable when it came out. I bought it like soon after it did. Anyway, this really. But I thought it was hilarious, but I have a weird sense of humor sometimes. But this really, introspective game that also lets you into the mind of the creator and the things that he thinks are funny.
I like the fact that they in a Stanley Parable they have the and as the storyteller and if you do the exact opposite of what the storyteller says, he will punish you. And
He reacts to everything you do.
yeah.
The narrator, that is the best thing in the game.
Yes.
The way that the narrator was handled.
I haven't played it, but I heard a lot about it, and I want to play it sometime.
There's
really should.
the mod which is the Stanley Parable for Counter-Strike. Was the source zero or what was that? Was the condition zero or was the Counter-Strike source mod? Or was
I think it was a Half-Life mod, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
No, it originally was a free modification for Half-Life 2.
Yes. I at least remember it was a mod of some sort, and then they made it a real game.
Yeah, then it got on green light.
Yes, and then greenlit, and it costed real money. And
Which game?
The Stanley
The
Parable.
Stanley Parable.
With
that
the
one.
beautiful narrator doing some beautiful stuff, and of course it was greenlit. But how many years is that ago?
It was approved in 2012,
Okay.
and it was released 2013, October 17th.
So Talos is that game where there's
Talos
an
Principle is more of a puzzle
Yes, that's the puzzle
game,
I think that
but also has some narrative.
so the Talos Principle is that's the game. Yes. I saw a bit of the game and I found it interesting, but then I got really quickly bored because it's just a like old Greek storytelling. It's interesting the 15 minutes if somebody is making it interesting to you or something. And I don't find it interesting. I don't find that it can be so interesting going through the old Greek world. Or maybe that's just me and how I think about the game.
Well, it does take some investment. It surely does.
Yes.
Because it is really philosophical, which Stanley Parable is also, but it's more humorous.
Yeah. And the fact that you can not beat the game. You can't beat the game. But the fact that you can you can find an ending in the 5 first minutes if you just continue on doing the things that the narrator doesn't tell you to do, then he will force you to do something else.
Yeah, the Stanley Parable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Compared to the Talos, which is more a game of storytelling, and it's really good storytelling. Seen from that point of view, that if that's what they want to do, but I think that it just becomes boring at some point. That too much story and too little plot of some sort. They're just telling you some sort of story, and it's just become long for me. Okay. I couldn't sit there and watch it for the 15 minutes and then decide whether I want to play it. Plus, it costs at new price 39 euros. Right now it costs 10 because Steam have sale, but that's still a lot of money for a game that I might not find so interesting.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on that.
But that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah. You know.
But I like this narrative, and I don't necessarily want like a lot of plot if it tells a good story besides it.
Fantastic.
The opposite of the stories I tell.
Yeah, which is just...
Which is 100% plot.
Yeah. Then she did this, and then she did that, and then I found a guy, and that guy was red, and then... You know, it's like when we're sitting here and they're playing Pulsar for 10 hours, and then you come with the bright idea of maybe we should do something else. Oh, it's so hilarious when we've done that. So yeah.
But my point in bringing these two games up was that I think that it's great to see much more introspective games in the industry, and also successful ones.
But I'm just a bit curious on how they're going to make those games. Also because it costs a lot of money, and the people are starting to be more what we call critical about the games because of people like me. I'm pretty critical about the game, saying if things goes wrong, I'm just critical about like that.
What are we talking about now?
What did
the Talos principle?
Yes, like Talos principle and Stanley Parable and stuff like that.
It's a whole new perspective on games, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a creative thing. It's creative. It's new. I like it.
Yes. I just think that how they do it right. It's like when they are making a new film. Are you going to go in and watch that film, or do you think that you already have seen that story once? Like when you go in and look at the film called Aragon, you just goes in and you just watch Star Wars: A New Hope again. It's basically just a Middle Age instead of being in the sci-fi age. I think that's the difference between the Aragon film and the Star Wars films.
For me, that would be something like Civilization 3 and 4. For me, I see no difference. Even though I've played both of them extensively, the only difference was that the player base in 4 was larger at the time of playing it.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? It's just like you play a copy with a new name and a little bit different graphics. That's all it was for me.
Okay. What did I think about again?
Yeah, but there are a lot of games like that, and people will still buy them.
Like Tropico, like they did 3 and 4 is like basically the same game.
Yeah. So what is the difference from the Tropico 4 to Tropico 5 then? Because
I haven't played 5 yet.
I could tell a couple of things about the difference. So basically, I've played both of them, remember 4 as well, but now in 5 you actually have this dynasty system where just like you have your Anno family, you have a dynasty of people, and you after every mission you can upgrade them. And basically I have this one set of full house, which means every single place is filled up, and I have like the 40% more 40 extra points in productivity, 60% extra grants, and things like other countries give you, that kind of thing. And just this, my houses only cost 60% of what they would usually cost. My industrial places cost 40%, those kind of things. That's basically the main difference I can see, except from the graphical update.
Yeah. So that is the main beautiful difference between the Tropico 3 and Tropico 4.
5.
It's not a big one, but
fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm out. I think that okay.
Okay, but
So,
that's the main visual or the actual main feature difference I've not seen before.
Yes, there should be some more features. Yeah, it's just so. I'm continue on asking this question. Why should I buy the new version? Why should I go in and look at the new film, or why should I see? There has to be something. It's like when I looked at the new Anno game.
Some lure to bite you in.
Yeah, like a continuation on the story for what is it? God of War 1, 2, and 3 is just a continuation of the story.
But
yes,
it's
the new
just
monsters to
everything
kill.
you play, see, or whatever must lure you in before you spend money on it. So basically, they're working on your impulse. So, for example, a Call of Duty trailer will show this massive battlefield shooting, death, pain, explosions, fire, everything to catch everyone's eyes to it, to grab them in the impulse of buying the game. And that's basically how all of those things work. And it's finding whatever audience you want to appease to on what kind of advertisements you're going to make.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's advertising for you right there.
Yeah, that's basically how you sell a game. You look at what you've got, you look at who you want to sell the game to. Basically, you usually do that before making the game, and then if the game is finished, you know what you're gonna do to sell it. And if you can't make it interesting enough, then it will be a flop. Usually, the more overhyped the game is, the less likely it actually is to fail on massive scale.
But I was thinking about the question, why buy a game that's basically the same, And I just thought, well, maybe if the first game was great, and you're just like, I just want more of this. I don't care about, if it's the continuing story or there's more to do. I just like this. I want more of it.
Yeah.
That could be a reason to buy basically the same game again, when it's not the big changes.
Yeah. I also just randomly opened my Steam and saw a game that perfectly fits this thing, Dominions 4. And who of you has heard of it?
I've heard a little bit about it.
I've heard of the deck building game.
Dominions 4 is actually just, in basis, it's a new game mode added to Dominions 3 and a couple of engine updates. So basically, the differences with Dominions 3 are there's a couple of new people you can play as, and there's a new game mode, and it's easier for you now to make maps and mods and stuff. That's the main difference. Yet, the player base for Dominions 4 is larger than that of Dominions 3. So, basically, it is repetitive of the earlier game, yet more people are interested in this one than that they were in the last one.
Yes.
Oh, hey!
I think that yes.
Winter sales is up. The Steam sale is up.
Yes, the Steam sale is up, and you can buy a lot of cheap games if you have money.
Tropico is first franchise.
Tropico 5. It's a good game. Seriously, Tropico 5. €9. Buy.
Is Anno up?
We interrupt this podcast to buy Tropico 5.
Yes, bye. We will cut the podcast right here, and now.
And buy games. We'll be back in a couple
then we
minutes.
will continue on doing something else.
And we will show you our Steam downloading. Tropical 5. While we wait.
No, wait.
money.
We can't do that. We promised them a 24-hour stream. We'll do that at another time.
We'll do that on another time, not on the podcast.
The things.
Yes. Henri Horstergaard.
What?
Hello. You wanted to talk about two different things today. Or I wanted you to talk about two different things.
Yeah. Well, all right. It's my turn.
And therefore, I bring you the first of your topics. You will talk about some of the Kickstarter games that you actually used some money on and backed. 3, 2, 1, go! I'm going to find.
I kickstarted a few games, mostly actually in the space simulation genre, because I thought it was a really there wasn't too many games in that. Like the God games, it had died out mostly. Well, there was one series I've been playing, the X series, Terran Conflict, Albion Prelude, and stuff like that. But you know, it was an old series too, and it was really obscure. And I wanted a real. So when I saw this Kickstarter game called Star Citizen, I knew, you know, that one I wanted, you know, and I was talking about, you know, Oculus Rift support, so you could look around in ship, and one of the things they was said they would do, it's like you could walk around inside the ship while you're flying around in space. Like every other space game out there, it's like you're flying around the ship, but you are the ship. You can walk around inside the damn ship. So that's like one of the new things. But there's been a bit of controversy around Star Citizen because a lot of people say, hey, they're cheating you and stuff like that. But that part, I think, you know, because they're releasing the game in parts, you know, they're constantly releasing parts of the game. People can see, you know, they are doing what they promised. So I think you. What?
I'm just saying that most early access games are actually doing that.
Yeah, most, I guess so, but, you know, the quality of what they release is really, really, really great. So, you know, I'm feeling trustworthy about it. And, you know, I think when you kickstart a game, you know, you just have to think about it, you know, be a little discerning, you know. The problem isn't, you know, there's a lot of bad Kickstarter. Of course there is, you know. You just got to be smart about it. That's the problem. Be smart about it. Then there's another thing, you know, some say, hey, it's pay to win because, you know, early Kickstarters got this LTI, you know, you could buy the ships and get lifetime insurance. You could still buy the ships, actually, you just don't get lifetime insurance. But I disagree with that because, you know, you can get these ships in the game and you can get insurance for them. There's nothing like store money you had to pay to get money to buy stuff. Everything you could get in game, and there's no when they finish the game, you can buy stuff with real money to do in the game. So it's like it's just before the game. So the only difference is like starting point, you know. And here the argument is, you know, okay, people get different starting points, but okay, is that unfair? No, not really, because, you know, people going into the game later would be behind, you know. So what this means, it means that the game world will be filled up with lots of different ships from the start, you know, and that's a good thing, you know, because
I think it's a good thing.
One thing, basically, if you start later on playing a game with somebody else, out of my own game history, there was this online game named O Game. Anyone remember that one?
I played O Game.
Yeah. Well, okay. So basically, you would go into the game, and a few days after you'd started, invested your time into it, and then this massive guy with a fleet would just send one big warship onto you, steal all your resources, destroy everything you've got, and that over and over and over again, slowly slugging your way up to a mediocre level until you one day forget to play the game and you got your account deleted. That's basically how that game went if you didn't pay money.
Yes.
But whenever a new world would start, everybody would have fair game. Which reminds me of the fact that it doesn't matter if you get advantages or disadvantages later in the game, you're always going to be lacking behind another person who started playing earlier. Yes. You're always going to have to work around the disadvantage you made because other people started to play the game earlier.
It's like like when you're playing against me and Anno, you have to expect that I'm just better than you are.
Or Tropico 5, that is my key game. I have full cabinet of people.
Exactly, you know. And there's also, but I think actually, you know, it can lead to a lot more fun because, you know, then everyone is relatively new to the game, you know, but like, okay, this guy got a much bigger ship than me, but he doesn't know how to fly that ship any better than you do. Actually, he might be at a disadvantage because, you know, it's more complicated to fly a big ship, you know. You need more people walking around doing stuff, you know. So in the early phases of the game, you will have a lot of chances to, you know, fight these bigger ships because they are like inexperienced and at a disadvantage from the beginning because they're big ship, they don't know how to use it. While a small ship, you know, is just point and shoot pretty much. You know, it's like, okay, you just have this one guy and gun and you just point in that direction and finish, you know. Well, they're flying around in a big heavy ship, you know, and don't know what to do, you know, kind of stuff like that. So I think that will also create some help the one with the poor ships, so to speak.
It's not about how big it is about how you use it.
Haha, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just to bring it up for early Kickstarter games, I actually was one of those who actually backed the game called Artemis before it become version 2.0. And back in the 1.7, how is it again? 1701 release. Yes. That was a reference to Enterprise. Back in that release, the game was really narrow, and you didn't have a lot of things. And people said that you're cheating us, or the game company was cheating us because they didn't develop on the game, and the few patches they made was not big. And then they made an iPhone app which wasn't compatible with the computer version, so you couldn't actually play between platforms, and it was pretty stupid. But then 2.0 just came out and they said, hey, we're going to make space stations, and we're going to make this, and we're going to make this, and do you know what? You can pay €4 or X2 for it. If you want, and we're going to continuously develop on the game and make a community. Now the Artemis community is so fucking big that it's just hilarious. And they are.
Is that game where you pulled the plug because you were told to?
What?
You told me about once you played this game and his captain told you to pull your internet Ethernet cable out, and you were hosting the damn thing. Or was that another game?
Yes, that was the game. I was I said something. That's also a thing that I sometimes stream a lot of Optimus servers, and I was told to once just pull the plug. So I pulled the plug out of my computer. And then 55 people just lost the connection to the server, and we were so close to winning on hardest difficulty. 8 ships. Pulled the plug. And the entire TeamSpeak, as far as I was told by the admin of the TeamSpeak server, was just yelling at me. Like, wow! Thank you, Corbin. Yes, but
LOL.
But Artemis is one of those games where, compared to many other games, has a DRM which is just pretty damn crazy. If I buy the game for €3 or whatever it costs on Steam right now, I can then copy it onto a USB pen, give it to Philip, and then he can install it on his computer, and then we can play together. And there's no DRM, there's nothing. It's always been like this in Artemis. You can always just copy it to your friends. But if you want to back it, if you think it's a good game and you want to play Space Bridge Simulator game, which is actually pretty Star Trek is, then yeah. But then
I like that.
you know there came a new Space Bridge Simulator called Pulsar recently. Have any of you?
That's a game I'm good at.
That's a game that Silver is good at. I think this was on Pulsar we met. And
yeah, we met on Pulsar in a match where at that moment the day before, basically the only friend I had at my school told me to fuck off. And
I don't want to hear all the bad stories.
Die. No, that's no bad story. That was the day I met you. Or at least that was the day before I met you. So it was quite, nobody ever talks to me. Everybody hates me. Still, everybody hates me.
I still
think.
hate you.
Yeah, but at least you talk to me. That's the thing.
Yes. So yeah, but the new Pulsar game was released, and it still is early access. So actually, you can say that the early access games you're also backing on those. Is that right? Or do you think that's
It's pretty much the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
I think.
You think? What do you think?
Supporting a game in development.
Apparently, somewhere soon a beta, an update is going to come. Somewhere coming late December. So maybe before the end of our stream, we have an update.
I hope. So Pulsar is somebody somehow bad at some point, because if you save the game and reload, then you can risk starting with a lot of ships trying to kill you everywhere.
I just have to pick up the phone. It's my stepmother, and that usually means I have to do something with my stepbrother. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, see you there. But that is a good way to make DRM for Optimus, by the way. But what is your thoughts about DRM, Horstegård? You want to talk about that on all the currency?
Yeah, the funny thing is, I am by heart a pirate. You know, I believe that information should be free. You know, be free to be used and all that. And the funny thing is, I haven't been pirating a game for years now, because you know I got Steam.
Yes, you could.
It's like I hate DRM, for example. I hate that. It's like, you know, we are talking about I should buy Anno, but I'm not sure I want to, because they got this DRM thing going on and stuff like that. But maybe I'll buy it anyway, just for the stream. But, you know, piracy often is also about availability and making it easy for people. You know, Steam makes things easy for me, and it gives me something. You know, they give me like easy way to connect with people and play with other people. They give me achievements, and it's easy to download and install, and it just works.
They
so
give you
I haven't pirated. Yeah, cards. Yeah,
yes, you get cards from Steam.
And you know, it's just cheap and convenient. So you know, if you do that, that's the answer to piracy. If not DRM and stuff like that, because you know that's easy to get around. So that people, like a day after it comes out, it will already be out on Pirate Bay or whatever. You know, make a good service like Steam and it will work. But
please, but aside from does, I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but you know, and what they should do what Artemis is doing. Like, okay, whatever, we don't bother with DRM stuff like that. Let people do that, and you know, if they want to pay. And there's also a moral component in it, because some people say that piracy is stealing, but that's wrong. That's completely wrong, because what is stealing? It's taking something from somebody else and denying them access to it.
Yes.
I'm never denying anyone anything when I pirate. I copy stuff. I copy it. So imagine in a world like I have a magic ability to go around and copy physical object. Everyone have that magical ability. Do you think we would have the concept of ownership of this is mine, this is yours? If everybody could just copy anything, like a car or food or water or whatever. No,
I wouldn't think that you would have that the principle of the ownership.
Exactly, and
it wouldn't exist. It would be just a concept of people thinking. It would be philosophers who think, what if we wouldn't be able to do this? How would things look then? And then they would think of the concept of ownership in that world.
And that's exactly what we have with information. You know, ownership comes from limitation, but we don't have limitation on information. We can share it freely over the internet.
Yes.
And that's why, for me, because we don't have this basic reason for ownership, I think it's more wrong to force it down on information. It's like saying you have to pay for air, in my eyes. That's what air, you know, breathing air.
Yeah. That reminds me of something called the social contract. Ever heard of it? Any?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the social contract includes we pay taxes, but instead we get protected from when our neighbor gets enraged, something like that. And the concept behind that is basically we make rules, but we make it safe for the weak. But there is opposition.
Sounds like a country I live in.
It sounds like every country in the world. That's basically normal. But there is this opposition of the social contract, which means before the social contract there was something called the state of nature, and it means that everybody does what they want whenever they want. And
hopes.
Yeah, that's basically the people who are for state of nature use this argument that you're free, you can do what you want, you're not bound to rules, you do not have to listen to some lawyer in for lawsuits if he's talking crap. But people against it say that the weak will be profited from by the strong, and that's basically it's very debatable if data is.
Wasn't you guys told not to write in the Skype chat?
I didn't write in the Skype chat, man.
What was you saying?
It's gaming ghoul.
Too late.
No, but basically, what if we would be in the free state of nature, but the gaming developers in that case are the weak and we are the strong? That would be the contra of what we are discussing here. Not that I'm for that. I mean, it would basically mean that we just take from the developers, and basically like we take food in our concept.
Well, not really, because the difference in here is that out in nature, if we have this piece of food or rock or whatever we both want, then we can fight over it. You know, the problem is, okay, then we have to fight who gets it.
Yes,
but in nature,
this is infinite. Yes, but let's talk about the money, the time people invest to make something.
Yeah, what 2 seconds. So it has a natural value, this rock or stone, because it's limited. But yeah, here it's infinite. But the difference is here is the creator has a right to decide: do I want to release this? Do I want to give this to the world or not? But when they have released it, when it's out in the world, it's not theirs anymore to control. Then it's free. Then it's my information. It's in my brain. It's mine.
And that brings us back to the Kickstarter, exactly, because then we are in a full circle. Now I can say, okay, I want to release something. If you want to give me money for it. And then you have the money to develop it. Now you have a choice. Now you can sell it further and develop further into it. So you can choose to get more money to develop on the game. You should not have the ownership of the game. You should have the. Now you can back me. What should we say? 10 euros. So I can continue on developing the ownership. Not the ownership. The game. That's what Adobe does, is they say, but you have to continuously pay us money, because then we can continue on developing on this thing called a Premiere, which you should not use because it's way too stupid. I hate Premiere.
Yeah. Okay, but principally, you're right in the fact that things should be more free. But basically, if we would go for this, there would be a lot less new games in the development, because it's a big chance no one's going to pay for it, and that's basically it's going to be like, ever heard of the roundabout theory? That's basically if a roundabout is full and everyone wants to go to the next turn to go off, and you're all so close together you're not gonna move. Basically nobody is gonna move, even though they're supposed to, because the guy in front of them isn't moving. It's basically a fear that you're gonna crash into the person in front of you. That kind of fear you'll get as well if not all I'm saying it wrong, but basically a lot less people will develop their great video game ideas just because of the fact that they don't think they'll make it out there, because they think that people won't pay for it. And that's something I would find sad, if this person with the best game idea ever would have the ability to make it and then can't make it because he doesn't dare to risk himself.
But that's exactly what we solve with this, because right now it's only the safe games that get developed, because we have to sell it and earn money on it. With things like Kickstarter, it gets tons on the head. You can look into Kickstarter and see all the games that get successful on Kickstarter.
Wouldn't you doubt it? Wouldn't you doubt yourself if it would be like?
But that's not. But exactly that. You don't have to doubt. You have the money.
The opposite. People on Kickstarter actually makes good games, because they don't know if they from the start don't know if they're going to make any money out of this, so they put it on Kickstarter. And when it's on Kickstarter, then they start up getting money so they can start developing the game, and then they can choose to say, okay, now we have enough money to develop the game. Now we are going to put it on Steam Early Access. Now we hope that people, while we are developing the game, will still continue on backing us over Steam. Now we get more money so we can continue on further develop on the game. It's not about getting more money. It's about or something like that. It's about, now we have this amount of money we can use in the game, and we already earned this amount of money. You don't have to earn more, but you have the chance on early access to earn more, because you already got it from Kickstarter. But if you say that after I put it on early access, everybody gets it for free, then I know that I only have this box of money. Then there will come people like me who says, but if I don't pay this guy any money for the game, then I am in a state of I can't get a good game in the last end. I know that they will do the game, but I know that they will not make all these special features they are talking about. Then the modding community will come in and fuck everything over and just make games worse. You see that with Minecraft. I'm just saying that when you play modded Minecraft, it's not always done real good, and the modders is actually living off the ads from the modding community. From AdFly.
There's also another part I just sort of want to go over. Is also some say, well, these game developers or movie makers or book writers or whatever we have, they deserve to get paid for what they did. But that's wrong. Nobody deserves to get paid for anything. If I go out and dig a hole in the ground, I don't deserve to get paid for that. Even I can't go out in somebody's garden and say, hey, I knock on the door and say, hey, I dug that hole in your garden, pay me.
So you also think that it should be free to go to the cinema?
Well, actually,
no.
The cinema.
The idea of
cinema is the social contract again.
The cinema provides, seats and a room and stuff like you can't get any. It's a limit,
right?
You pay for that. But if you want to sit at home and download it for internet, I never said I never wrote any contract that I didn't want to download that movie. I wouldn't do it. I never paid for it. I never signed anything. So why should I not do it?
I do actually agree on you on that point, because I am actually one of those who doesn't have a problem going in and see. I want to watch the new Disney Pixar film, and where should I watch it? I should maybe watch it free online, because I don't want to pay for it right now. But actually I paid for all Disney Pixar films so far. I mean, all of them. So after I have watched it free online, I decide, is that film good enough to pay on iTunes? And then I go into iTunes store, if it is, and pay. And that's the same thing as Steam. You have easy access. You don't have to have it physically laying around or anything. This is a sort of information, but it's laying on the Apple Cloud somewhere. And when I want to watch it again, I can go there and easy access it in good quality.
Do you know the concept of something is only as valuable as we make it?
Yeah, it is.
Of course, supply and demand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some things are actually just priced outside of supply and demand in case of something unique. There are
like
things
Adobe?
unique that I meant more something like there is this one. Let's just take it like this. There's this one unique thing everyone in the world wants. I don't know what it is. Like there's this one apple left in the world, and everyone in the world really likes apples for some reason. I do like apples, but everyone wants that last apple in the world. Everyone wants it. So then it's not supply and demand. Then it's just a demand for this one thing which is finite in a one thing roster. Then it's not longer a supply. Then it's just how much will people bid for this one object. And then you get
like an auction.
Right, but it changes quickly from an auction to a full-out war because people don't want to play by the rules anymore.
Okay.
They just will do anything they can to get that apple or whatever it might be. They will do everything they can to get it, and
that's
that leads
the
to
exact
the idea
opposite of the problem we have here. Here we have the problem where the supply is infinite and the demand is finite.
Quite large.
It's quite large, but the supply is infinite.
Yeah,
it's where.
But look around it this way: people will do everything to get that. But what if the person who bred that apple would never existed and never made the apple?
Oh.
And there would be no last apple. What would that be then?
There is we are in a situation where if the apple was infinite and you could continue on getting the apple, then the guy who bred the apple, if it didn't exist, then you have the same case. But when you say that the apple is finite and this demand is infinite, then you are just putting it all on the head, and
in
then
the opposite.
The opposite problem you have. But the opposite
okay,
problem
what
can
about
be solved the same way.
But he was also talking about, you know, if you had one guy that made the apple, you know, if he never made the apple, but you know, we have 7 billion people, you know, it's like somebody's gonna make that damn apple, you know. The telephone, you know, it was invented twice the same year or something like that. Graham Bell was just the first one to go to the office, you know, get it patented, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's like, you get this thing, like everyone wants to have something, but there's only one copy of it. But how do you solve that problem? Usually it doesn't go through an auction, but through violence and disruption. And the other way around, what if there's only one video game creator and there is infinite, or there's only one video game creator in a case, and there is a near infinite demand of people who want new, different video games? What do you get then?
I don't know.
And what kind? That's the problem. We then live in a world where you basically, there's only a very select group of people who will make video games. And
why if a lot of people want video games, then other people start making video games.
Yes, but if you're not certain, you're not certain if you get paid or not, you might not invest that initial bit of time into it to make that prototype.
Have you looked at webcomics? Have tried to look at how much things that's done for free, you know, or just like take the Scream, you know, from that painter, what do you call it, the painting, the Scream, you know, the guy who made it. The Scream, like Scream. Yeah, that movie, you know, he never sold anything. He was poor. He died poor. He never made it for the money, you know. Or Charles Darwin, he didn't. He was rich, you know. He had rich parents. He didn't do it for the money, you know. Lots of people do things because they want to do it.
Yes.
And with Kickstarter, you know, you don't have to be in doubt, you know. You just put this thing out. Yeah, I want to do this. Do you want to give me money to do it, you know? And then you don't have to worry about it.
And I totally agree on that. Yeah, and Kickstarter is just the opposite of capitalism in some way.
Yeah,
it's just pay me before I make it instead of I made it, pay me.
Yeah.
But on that note, I want to say a lot of things because we are pretty soon to go over time. So this was today's welcome to the podcast, and I really hope that you all enjoyed it. So
wait, I have to get
first
this
of all,
page up. I have to get a page up. Give me a few seconds. Have it.
Thank you. For fuck's sake, I'm trying to do something here.
Page up. I had to get the outro up.
How do I turn off the can't? So Ilyach. So start telling me who you are and where do I find you and why are you here with us today?
Well, I'm Philip.
Hello, Philip.
Hi, Philip.
I'm here, yes.
We have been through this so fucking many times. This is Ilyach. He is he can be found on Twitter. Maybe he has a Facebook. I don't know. He is the artist and the guy who pretty much helps me making all my arts and tells me when I'm doing something wrong. And that's the reason why we have him here on the podcast. Underneath me, down under me, we have a Hørstegard. Hørstegard, who are you? What are you doing? And specifically, can I find you anywhere on the internet if I want to follow you and stalk you? You know, people.
Well, yeah, I have an account on pretty much every webpage there is, and it's under the name Hørstegard. You know, if it's Hørstegard, it's 99% sure it's mine. It's like I think there's one or two people that
down Hørstegard.
Yeah, down. Yeah. Well, anyway, there's like one or two other people that use that name, and funnily enough, it's just for email. So my email is like Hørstegard3. You know, it's just the one thing. You know, it's the email.
It's just the email.
And it's my email. It's my name. You know, I use it everywhere on the internet, and they just stole it.
Fuck
this
them.
is mine. I'm Hørstegard.
You're Hørstegard. Yes.
And then email is.
In that corner, which will be down there, not the cat, but the Silver Prince. Hello, Silver Prince.
The other annoying thing. Well, the reason I tried to stop you was I thought it was the actual outro, and I had to read an entire list of things, and I still didn't have that one up yet. I'm Silver Prince. I'm useless. I am findable nowhere on the internet. I have no hobbies. I don't have a real name. I'm not interesting in any way. I'm just there for people to scream at.
You know. And my name is Lolpi. I'm a live streamer, a YouTuber, a filmmaker. Now I'm an artist. I make live action role plays, and I do a lot of active things. I actually do too much. I have a Twitter, Facebook group, plus Tumblr, Pinterest, Reddit, and eFucked. I don't think I have eFucked anymore. I just trampled on there. And all the links you want to have for all my personal information will be down there, either on YouTube or on Twitch or wherever you're watching this right now. It will be all the links down there. Remember to just like me and follow me and do everything around me, because I like that, and I will make more live streams and more videos and tweet more random things on Twitter if you want that. Now we are going it over to Silver Prince, who will do the outro if you can.
Oh no, okay. And remember to follow, like, comment, subscribe, share on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, Pinterest, Reddit, eFuck, MySpace, Vampire Freaks, Adult Friend Fire. Give me a second.
Do you need help?
No, I'm living. Pornhub, YouPorn, Flickr, Fuckbook, Dick, Stumble Upon, Foursquare, LinkedIn, Vimo, Vine, DeviantArt, and on live stream. I did it.
My name is Lolpi, and this was Welcome to the Podcast.